be changing very soon. You can judge a movement by its behavior, and the young patriots here today don't destroy property. You don't burn buildings. You don't punish dissenters. And you don't try to erase the people with whom you disagree. It's called civilized people. You're civilized people. And yet, remember I said this, you're civilized, but you're much tougher than the other side. You're much tougher, much tougher. You conduct yourselves with honor, integrity, and dignity because you know the truth, the facts, and the history all on your side. We're joined today by Reagan Escoda, a student at Northwestern State University of Louisiana. Reagan became a target of liberal cancel culture when she dared to stand up for her Christian values instead of bowing to political correctness. Reagan, please come up and say a few words, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for being here today with all of us and for inviting me up here to tell of my experience with cancel culture. My name is Reagan Escudé. I graduated from Northwestern State University of Louisiana in 2019, and I started my first job at a small private insurance company in Louisiana. A few weeks ago, amidst all this chaos that we're seeing with the Black Lives Matter movement, I made a video on my Instagram. And I talked about how disappointed I am in the church's reaction to the Black Lives Matter movement. I've seen pastors call for white congregants to kneel and to apologize for the skin that God gave them. And I addressed these evangelical pastors and leaders and reminded them that racism is a problem in the heart. It is a sin problem that cannot be resolved by any law, protest, or march. And so, of course, my leftist followers didn't appreciate this message at all. I had my name blasted all over social media, and people told me, I'm ashamed to have ever called you my friend. I've lost all respect for you. I love y'all. And so an ex-coworker of mine made a post on Facebook about me, calling me racist and homophobic, and she listed my place of employment and called for people to call my employer and have me fired. There were death threats made to the owners. There were threats to knock down the building. Law enforcement had to get involved. And due to the crazy reaction from the leftist mob, my employer told me that they came to the conclusion that they needed to terminate my employment. But here's the thing. Losing my job is a small price to pay when God's name is being glorified. And He will always make His name known. But I share this story with you. I share this story with you because what happened to me is just a small example of something that's happening on a much larger scale in our nation. Aunt Jemima was canceled. And if you didn't know, Nancy Green, the original first Aunt Jemima, she was a picture of the American dream. She was a freed slave who went on to be the face of the pancake syrup that we love and have in our pantries today. She fought for equality, and now the leftist mob is trying to erase her legacy. And might I mention how privileged we are as a nation if our biggest concern is a bottle of pancake syrup? And more recently, we're seeing a call for statues of Jesus Christ to be torn down. Now, I'm a little confused here because last week Jesus was a social justice warrior, and this week he's the face of white supremacy. And Jimmy Kimmel has been calling our president racist for years, and it turns out he's the racist. There's governors that are getting away with wearing blackface. That's just sliding under the radar. So I want to encourage you all to stand firm in your beliefs. We need truth. We need hard, cold facts and truth now more than we ever have before. And we are so blessed to have a president who stands on the front lines, walks through the fire every day to fight for our God-given American freedoms. Do not apologize to the mob. And thank you, President Trump, for never apologizing to the mob, for always standing firm, for being here for the American people, and for fighting for our best interests, because you are the change that we need to see in America. Thank you.